But the first one that we have coming up here is gonna blow your mind. Let's take a look at the video, shall we?
Can these nuts.
6535. We watched this at Rise.
No!
Anyway, if you've ever said anything mean to anybody from Niji Sanji, Yen, or others, this is you. This is me. Yeah, you like that? You like that? Yeah, that's what I thought. I hope my neighbors don't freak out.
None, thank you! Oddball Boy, thank you! Raymac, thank you! Average Gatsby, thank you! Ema Rippin, thank you! In 3, 2, 1.
Wait, open your mouth, Banana. I want to see. Is there teeth in there? Oh, still baby mouth.
I'm not a baby! Don't make fun of me!
This is a future of the creator economy that will be playing out. We talked about Japan a little bit in the last session. There is a lot of this coming from Japan to the rest of the world. I am so excited to have AniLive CEO Captain come up here to talk a little bit about why VTubers matter as well. Captain, come on up. Big round of applause for Captain, please. Come on up, come on up. So, mic here, take this mic. Okay, so what the heck was that? What did we just see? What's going on here?
Yeah, I know it looks very strange, right? but I just one of the concepts I want to deliver today is all the time something new. It looks very, very strange. So I believe that VTubing is something next big thing.
Yeah, so this is a VTubing and VTubers. So for those who don't know, how do you define a VTuber?
Okay, that's actually a big question. But let me put simple words. VTubers, an abbreviation for virtual YouTubers, and it's virtual content creator who use avatars and doing streaming stuff and posting video on YouTube and other streaming platform. But if I can add some couple of stuff, there are a couple phases and generations for VTubers. The first generation is being our notable representative Kizuna Ai. They started wearing avatar, doing mocap, 3D mocap stuff, and posting video every week.
Yeah, mocap being motion capture, wearing a suit that captures your body motions.
Like suits.
My body's moving around, and they're turning it into a virtual character on stage.
Primarily, they post video.
Yep.
But as a second generation, as you saw the video, that was from Niji Sanji, any company named Any Color. That was our biggest VTubing agency right now. And
so this is a big agency of VTubers.
Yes, on the earth right now.
We'll talk more about that later, but yeah.
Right, and also they're more focusing on streaming, everyday streaming. So the agency has 30 to 50 or even 100 streamers, VTubers, and they post video at the same time, streaming every day. So this is second generation, and we see as third generation, the more individuals start streaming, as indie VTubers.
Yeah, so you're building Alice and AniLive. You're building AniLive as a way to add on to the communities that VTubers build. Talk a little bit about what you're building and why, because it seems like VTubers out there building audiences doing this. This is sort of the next generation of how VTubers can start to monetize beyond just their channels.
Okay, so the AniLive, the mobile communication platform, but focusing on VTubers, and they can start streaming only with a mobile device. Generally speaking, VTuber, they need to have a PC, and they can, for example, cannot stream, for example, as a venue, the event venue, for example.
Right, yeah, you got to have your PC, you lock down
PC
to it.
using OBS.
Your mocap suit is tapped to it, that's tracking your eyes, it's doing all
need
that
to decide
stuff.
which game I'm going to stream, and also need to prepare a thumbnail, whatever everything. So the AniLive is mobile-based, a vertical mobile-based streaming application. It sounds like a TikTok BS YouTube, more instant, and start streaming from day one, monetize from day one. So that is a new type of streaming platform.
So it's a new streaming platform. Will it allow me to take the avatar that I've built and I do streaming on Twitch or other places and just put that into this and then be able to stream more directly with people much more easily just using the camera on the phone?
Right. So now we are building okay, you can start stream from day one, and also even monetize from day one. And in the future, we would like to integrate more IRL aspect as well, but now focusing on VTubers right now.
Do you think VTubers will end up having sort of primary VTubing on TikTok and Twitch and other and YouTube, but they'll use this as a secondary way or as a way to complement it, a way to reach some of their bigger fans, or do you think it's a primary platform for people?
Right now, we try to aim at being a complementary platform because kind of AniLive is more focusing on immersive communication. So that we try to kind of, actually there's some VTubers using right now and bringing core users on our platform and enjoy more immersive, like more dense communication, and which means kind of more like a highly possible for them to monetize kind of easily.
Yeah, now, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it. But you are from Japan, Japanese, but you're building it here in Singapore, right?
Yes, yes.
Why are you building it here in Singapore?
Oh, that's why kind of I exited my last company, kind of 2 companies before, and I born in Japan, raised in Japan, and when I started my first company, it was 23 years old, and I didn't use any word of English at the time, by the way. So
your English is very good.
Thank you very much, kind of every day practicing. So anyway, so I found that, okay, after that, I started my career as an entrepreneur and built small application for creators. And that uses like Instagram for only for creators. So I have many like creator friends, good painter around me, and they really suffer making money kind of throughout from their creation. So kind of okay, let's focus on creation area, but as the only Japan, it didn't succeed. And after that, we pivoted and that company succeed. Then after that, I sold my first company, came back to like a creator area, and started a VTubing agency. So my second
company, you started a VTuber agency. You actually ran a VTuber agency. Right. Yeah. Wow.
So kind of I was like a first like a manager and producer of the agency, and I did an audition by myself, and also recruited 3 people, and started agency early 2021, like in the middle of COVID-19.
2021 and COVID, yeah, which makes sense.
And after the agency kind of went kind of well, and Sony bought my agency, and but I found that okay, being the agency, the president of the agency, it was very difficult to support a bigger number of creators. And I also found that there is a huge differences between when it comes to managing people on the agency and creators in Japan and the US. So okay, get back to your question. So I found that if we want to support more bigger number of creators, we need to focus on platform side. Right. So, and also when it comes to getting visa, it takes time, right? Yeah. To get a visa in the US. So I want to build an international company and service. So I came to Singapore. In terms of financial access is much easier, and Singapore is like a hub for Asia creators.
Yep, well. Yeah, absolutely. And you raised a bunch of money, and now you're building this out. Let's talk.
Kind of.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the opportunity for VTubers in general. How do VTubers make money?
Okay, so that's a very good question and interesting, because there are multiple revenue streams, and as you could see, that one is definitely donation.
Yep. Donations. Stream. Yeah, a lot of it is the tip jars. Put the money in the tip jar. Yep.
Right, and that is the one thing. And but actually, this isn't the main revenue stream. The biggest one is merchandising. Mm-hmm. So actually, the interesting of VTubing itself is this is more like a frequent, regular, daily basis kind of content. And first of all, start streaming and getting bigger fandom, and after that, the character turn into IP. And after that, they have once or twice or even 3 or 4 times have very big live concert after being popular. And the IP is getting bigger and bigger, and they have occasional merchandising, like a seasonal merchandising, let's say for example, summer, like a vacation merchandising, and a spring merchandising kind of stuff. So they have plushie or stickers, or even like a digital merchandising, recording voice, and say, hello, good morning, I'm blah, blah, blah. And that voice is sold for $10.
Oh, really? So
only just 30 seconds, 1 minute
30 seconds, voice. 1 minute, yeah.
More than $10.
And for fans, right? Fans buy it?
For fans, yes.
Yeah. We're talking with Dylan Harari tomorrow a little bit about FanFix. It does something slightly similar, but that's fascinating. So if you think about it, that's how they're making money today, but there are a lot of other opportunities around there. I mean, if you're creating this digital character and you're embracing it, there's an IP potential too, right?
Yes, definitely yes. So right now, the biggest VTubing agency company, and now their revenue is around 200 million USD. Even the company was established kind of 5 to 6 years ago, and they went to public and listed around. They hit the 2 billion USD valuation once, and then going up and down recently though. But the 50% of revenue came from merchandising. Wow! So actually, it's a very rapid growing company, and hit more than unicorn size. It even came from Asia, but they're one of the biggest VTubing agency viewership. More than 40% came from US. I mean English-speaking area.
So do you see the next SpongeBob coming from a VTuber? I mean, is SpongeBob a VTuber, anybody? Who knows? No. But is that where we're going to see some of these new IP born?
Yes. I would say that one small thing is kind of like a traditional IP and a VTuber type of IPs are a little bit different in terms of frequency-wise.
Right. Frequency-wise, meaning what?
I mean, kind of the VTuber, for example, let's compare together with kind of anime type of IP, like a Demon Slayer, One Piece, or Naruto, and also VTubing type of IP. And when it comes to anime, if you watched and enjoyed the first season of Naruto, the next season would come maybe 2 years later.
Right, it takes a year or two for the next season of your favorite anime. Right.
Even Demon Slayer, we are waiting for Demon Slayer next episode more than 2 years around right now. But when it comes to VTubing, they do stream every day. So it's a more real-time IP, and we see more frequent communication is the most important thing right now because everything is getting super faster and faster. Right?
Yeah, it's kind of like if I want Pikachu to be my best friend, that's not going to happen, but I could probably find a VTuber that's kind of similar, and then I could have that same sort of parasocial experience, right?
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about platforms for VTubing. You're building one. Yes. What are the other platforms where you tend to find VTubers congregating?
Twitch is definitely biggest one right now, especially in the States. And when it comes to Japanese market, YouTube is the biggest one. So it's very interesting. There's a huge difference between U.S. market and Japanese market. Japan is more on YouTube based, and Twitch is very big for U.S. people. Right now.
And how are brands getting involved here? Are brands embracing this at all? Is there a sponsorship opportunity for VTubers?
Oh yes, of course. Yes, it's super big, especially of course now the number of VTubers and the viewership in the States is growing every quarter right now. But when it comes to brand embracement stuff in Japan, is huge. If you come to Japan and walk around. And just how can I say, find a enter convenience store, you definitely literally see every day something like a new collaboration, snacks and drinks and a food, whatever.
Yeah, so much culture comes from Japan and goes around the world. I see it in America all the time.
VTubers are everywhere, literally everywhere.
I just noticed this. You probably not surprised. You're not surprised, but there's a VTuber bar in Tokyo.
Right.
Tell me about this VTuber bar, and is that coming to the U.S. and Singapore?
Yeah, I just say that's kind of we have in Japan a little bit different type of culture. I would say we have Concafe. Concafe means a concept cafe.
Yeah, concept cafe. I know. I've been to the Hedgehog Cafe.
Right.
I've been to the Pokemon Cafe.
Each it's not actually cafe, but it's a drinking small izakaya type of stuff. But each cafe, it's like a izakaya, has own concept. So this is a VTubing cafe, and this is how can I say, ninja cafe, samurai cafe, and there are some people cosplaying. For example, for Ninja Cafe, they're wearing a ninja costume.
Yep, right.
So we also have a new run for VTubers theme.
That sounds cool. I'm psyched to go to it just because it's a thing. But again, this is the sort of stuff that's spreading out from Japan out to the rest of the world. You talked about the U.S. and the market for VTubers in the U.S. Where does it stand? Where does it stand in Southeast Asia? Where does it stand around the world? What are the top 3 or 4 markets for VTubers and VTuber audiences and VTuber connections?
Very interesting question. So definitely Japan is the biggest one. But
Japan's number one. Got that.
Because anime country. But I would say when it comes to market size, US is getting bigger and bigger. At least as far as I've observed, from the statistic-wise, the number of VTubers are increasing and the watch hours are increasing. And for example, the Twitch announced that the category just chatting grew pretty much. Kind of the most rapid growth category was just chatting, and the just chatting growth was led by VTubers.
Yep.
So I would say US is a definitely next big market, and also when it comes to number-wise, number of streamer-wise, the Southeast Asia, including Indonesia and other countries, are of course growing as well.
They're growing too, yeah. So there's an element of avatars and there's an element of VTubers that I think doesn't get talked about that much, but is really important, and it is the aspect of how the technology lets creators who may have issues with putting themselves on camera, may have body issues, may have other sorts of things where they don't want to expose themselves. But this gives them an ability to create and build an audience and connect without having to put themselves out there. And so there's actually a mental health aspect to this too. Talk about that a little bit.
Right, definitely, yes. Actually, I met I'm an otaku. I'm an otaku is a people who really love watching anime every day and playing game, for example. So I'm not sure how can I say, but when it comes to my case, I'm also entrepreneur. I'm switching my personality sometimes. Generally, I don't want to go out a lot and just stay in my room and walking every day. And I even don't want to, how can I speak like this on the stage.
Yep.
But actually, there are so many otaku people, introvert otaku people, and they're really not comfortable to be doxxed.
Yep.
So that, which means the VTuber, the reason why I'm excited about the technology of VTubing is VTubing technology can expand the number of creators, the creator market, and increase the number of creators. And in terms of viewer-wise, streamer-wise, the VTubing technology open the market. So as you mentioned, it's in some certain sense, it's much healthier for streamer because they don't have to expose themselves.
And over time, though, some VTubers decide they do, right? Kind of like Dream taking off the smiley face and exposing him. Is that a common thing where people are like, they get comfortable with it, they're like, well, okay, maybe I'll let my audience see who I am?
Yes, this is super interesting question. When it comes to VTubing, 3 years ago, that people don't expect, they're taking off masks, which means avatars. But generally, especially I see this trend more in the States right now. People get used to showing part of their body, and also even a part of face as well. So as you saw the video, some people use the hand cam and showing their room sometimes. So I would say this is a very interesting trend for VTubers, regaining confidence after having very nice fandom, and they can be proud of themselves and also start create new type of content.
So got just a couple minutes left. Market size for me. How big does the VTuber market get? Does it become 10% of the global creator market, 5%? I mean, as we do more and more in immersive worlds and more, with avatars on, whether it's in Epic Games or on Fortnite or Roblox or wherever, how big does this get?
Right. This is one of the biggest difficult questions, most difficult questions, because it's a little bit difficult for us to define what is the VTubing market, because as you mentioned, there are major 3 biggest games like Roblox and also Minecraft and Fortnite, all about avatars. So I would say, as I mentioned, that one of the biggest VTubing company, agency, when public hit the 2 billion valuation within 4 or 5 years, and also metaverse, which means avatar-related market, is now is projected to 800 million by 2028. So part of that analysis, that VTuber is part of that market differently. So we believe that VTubing is going to tap into those metaverse press and mobile gaming press, and also even console gaming market as well.
We'll be talking more about this on stage with a panel tomorrow with a couple of interesting folks, more on the sort of general population level of it. I guess my last question for you is, who are a couple of VTubers we should watch? So if you really want to explore this world, There are a couple creators you're like, oh, this one, these are ones that are accessible, you'll enjoy, and you'll really start to understand this really big and growing area of the creator economy?
Okay, so definitely the biggest VTuber right now is a Gura, G-U-R-A, Gura, like a shark, small shark type of VTuber, and definitely kind of like a worth watching because she's the biggest one, and also probably many of you guys know that Iron Mouse is one of the biggest ones.
Iron Mouse, right? Yeah.
And at the same time, she's not a VTuber, but kind of she's like an original virtual character, and she was also performed on Coachella this year. And her name is Hatsune Miku.
Yep.
It's a very, very original, like a virtual character voice synthesizing like software. And I'm also wearing a t-shirt. So
oh, nice. Okay, show us. Oh, there we go. There you go. All right. We got a fan here, too.
Yeah, actually, she is like a very beginning of history of virtual creators. So I think I would recommend to kind of watch and also research about the history of her as well. That's really helpful to understand what's happening. To understand
what's going on here.
Right.
Okay. Really, really, my last question is, AniLive, Alice, you're in alpha now. When do you think it'll be available for widespread use?
Yes, so we're now gonna start our journey and also kind of going to release the open alpha version, which means kind of next Monday start open alpha.
Next Monday, yeah.
Yeah, on App Store. So especially for.
Oh wow! So Monday we can start using it.
Yeah.
All right.
On iOS.
AniLive on Monday, Captain. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Great hearing about it. How about a round of applause?